everyone and welcome to Blues TV. We are in the pub along, by Fulham Road, SW6 Lou Langtree. Get down here if you like some sausage, pigs and blankets. I do, anyway, you know I do.
I like the warmth as well because I'm done filming outside for now.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, this is not a great Monday for us because sadly, we lost 1-0 against West Ham on Saturday. I actually got quite drunk with a few people outside the bridge. The fans they weren't in good spirits. They were actually a bit depressed. They were just getting drunk.
Drinking their sorrows away.
Yeah, exactly. West Ham haven't won at the Stamford Bridge since 2002, which is obviously
a bit sad.
A bit sad, a bit disheartening for us. You know, that's a record that we wanted to retain, and we couldn't do it in the end. The interesting thing about this is if you look at the stats from the game, we had the majority of the possession. We had way more shots at goal, whether they were off or on target. We had way more shots than them. The difference is the 5 shots they had, they converted one of those into a goal. Yeah. I think we had something like 19 shots, 15, 19 shots. So how are we not converting that into a goal?
It's just poor finishing in the final third, to be honest. And I always say it's something that will grow with time. And I say it the same thing. I'm going to keep saying it all season because we know exactly what the season's about. It's about growing and improving as a team. But you also need to assess what's going wrong. Right now, it's finishing. We're dominating possession, we're having the majority of shots. I would say it feels a bit like last season where we're having control of the game, but we're not being as decisive. You look at the game specifically, Pulisic had a couple of chances he should have put away. Giroud, I think, should have just had more of an impact to the game. The same goes for Pedro as well.
But we were having this argument though, and I believe that it should have been Michy starting. Now, I know he's more of a super sub. We've discussed that already, and I completely get it, but Giroud, has Giroud played a game so far this season?
If he hasn't started.
No, he hasn't started a game all season, so it's very...
Oh no, Super Cup, just one start.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, that to me, if you haven't had any starts in the Premier League, if you haven't played in the Premier League yet, it's... I don't really understand that. And Michy is prone to scoring goals. Why you wouldn't bring him on when we need a goal is I think that's Frank Lampard's error, actually. And I love Frank. I'm not saying I hate him. Obviously, I'm always good about Frank Lampard, but I just think that's my one criticism of the game there, because I think when you need a goal, he's the one to give it to you, and you bring on Hudson-Odoi instead. I don't really understand that.
Definitely, I'd say that's also where we lost the game, because we made it very easy for West Ham. West Ham weren't letting us put any balls into the box before Giroud came off, and as soon as Giroud came off and we put Pulisic up front, they suddenly allowed us more space on the wings to put crosses in, because we're not going to do anything with them if it's just Pulisic, Willian and Hudson-Odoi up front trying to get the cross in. Yeah. But if I'm trying to play devil's advocate on Lampard's side, I'm looking at it, and Batshuayi came on as a sub for Valencia and he came on as a sub for Man City, and he didn't have much impact in either of those games. So I'm thinking maybe for Lampard, if he's seen this situation, he's probably thinking he wants to try something else. I get that, but now we know it didn't work.
Yeah. Because
Pulisic up front, I'm sorry, it just wasn't working. We've already said about Pulisic now, we want to see him get stronger on the ball. If you put him up front with 2 centre backs on him, he's out of the game. He's not doing anything.
Correct, but then we didn't really have a choice, did we? Because we missed Tammy, I suppose.
We definitely missed Tammy. I mean, his link up with the wingers, the fact that he would have had more of an impact than Giroud, full stop, because the fact is Giroud did nothing on that pitch. Yeah. I'm not trying to slay him, I'm not trying to scapegoat him or anything, but Giroud had a chance to show why he should be getting more game time on Saturday, and he didn't show, in my opinion. So he let himself down as well. I say we missed Tammy Abraham. To an extent, we missed Giroud too.
Yeah, but even that though, you know, what I'll say is I know fans are, like, you know, really loving Kovacic and Jorginho this season, and I completely understand why, and Pulisic. But for me, you have to have Kante in the team from the get-go. I just think he's just that solid force in the midfield. Now, I'm not saying that we would have got a goal. I have no idea, but I'm just saying that I think with Kante in the middle, when he holds everything down, it allows the other players to sort of push further forward a little bit. And I think we miss him terribly when he doesn't start a game, and I think it will always be the same for us. I think he's by far our best player. I
think we miss Kante, but I also want to say on the same breath, I think Kante was a little bit sloppy when he came on. I think we're trying to slowly ease him back into full fitness because he hasn't had a lot of time to fully get fit and start playing games.
It's a shame for us really, because we've had Kante injured, we've had Hudson-Odoi injured from the get-go, and Loftus-Cheek as well, obviously still out.
Plenty of injuries.
They were our best players, well, some of our best players last season. So we've had to adapt to it in that way. And I do think Pulisic has stepped up to the plate, and he's obviously changed Jody and Frank's mind to an extent, because he's got himself into the team, which is great. But I was disappointed on Saturday, and I thought it was a really poor game, and especially when City have drawn, that is the perfect opportunity for us to get ahead of them, and we completely and utterly destroyed any chance of us taking a bit of a lead. And I think it's important. You know, it would have been lovely to. Hopefully, we still can. We've still got a few games left before the new year. But I think when City draw, it's more of a rarity these days, and you need to take advantage of it. And it would have been lovely to go into the new year early. You know, getting ahead of them. Whether we can still do that now, I don't know, because I'm sure any fan will tell you it was just a really, really poor game for us. It was all year, like all round, especially when you have the majority of the possession, 65% or whatever it was, and you still can't convert one goal. That's annoying for me. Nobody wants to watch that sort of football. Just
again feels exactly like last season, but again it feels like last season, but it's completely different because there's no Hazard, and we've got a lot younger players that are trying to improve. That's why there's a lot more patience this season.
We're still overachieving.
Still overachieving. That's
obviously
again because of how well we've been playing recently.
But that's why it feels a lot worse than. I mean, no, it is bad to lose against any of the London rivals,
especially when it's a dead West Ham side.
Yeah, but if we were just putting on an average display all season, I think that'll be different.
You'd be a lot more angry.
Of course, the fact that we're ahead of Spurs and Arsenal is good for us.
We've still got like a 6-point gap on them. So in fact, this loss hasn't really hurt us that much. But you don't want to get too many now. We've had 2 losses on the bounce now. Now we want to start building it back up.
No, that is a shame. We did need to win against Valencia, because now Lille obviously is a very important game. But at the end of the day, I just want our form to stay how it has been for the majority of this season, which I think is above and beyond what we thought Frank Lampard would get out of this team. I think he obviously has a really good relationship with the players. I think we massively dropped the ball on Saturday, and I think part of that obviously is because Tammy is out, because I actually think we're capable of getting a goal with Tammy in the team. And even Tammy shocked me when from the start of the season. I thought Mount was ready, I thought Tammy may not be as ready, and he's completely proved me wrong, and that's what we all love to see. But I think when you've got a total of 19 shots, whether they're on target or not, you should be converting at least one of those into a goal. Otherwise, you've got major issues. And I think we've always had a problem with the up front since Costa left, really. We've only ever really had one striker that could fill in the place. Whenever one of our strikers has got injured, we've always had a problem with scoring goals. So I think that's something that we need to focus on in the transfer market next year, to avoid defeats like this. Because I think have we have two strikers in the team that are capable of rotating, coming on and doing a good job, like the majority of clubs do, really, then I think we'd have more of a chance of avoiding these losses, especially against our London rivals.
Yeah, I think we've got a huge golfing class in Tammy Abraham and the other 2 strikers, and I think that also goes to show how well Tammy Abraham's improved this season, how well he's taken the number 9 role. But I also want to, I know we need to get back to winning ways, but I also want to put in there that there's still going to be a lot of fatigue. A lot of fatigue.
Oh, yeah, totally.
And we've seen it over the last couple of weeks. That's probably a decent reason for why we've had the dip in form. We need
to give a special mention to Reece James, actually.
Yes.
He's the only player that actually got any praise.
Reece James, I'll give Kepa praise as well, because he saved us in the game multiple times. Reece James and Kepa were amazing.
Yeah, which is good. We have some defenders that are pulling their socks out.
Finally having brilliant balls coming in on the right side. If anything, it put more emphasis now Paul we were on the left, because I thought Emerson didn't have a good game on that left-hand side. Reece James though, calm, composed, controlling the play on the right-hand side, up and down that right flank. What I loved as well, the close control. Every time there was 2-3 players running into him, he's getting straight out pressure, he's running down that right side, and he's unleashing a great ball. And it made it even more painful that we were finally getting those good deliveries into the box and we just weren't doing anything with it.
Yeah, totally. Special mention also, I suppose we have to say it, we wouldn't want to, but West Ham's keeper obviously kept a clean sheet against them. 33 years old, I think it was his debut. He did a good job. So that's also another thing that sometimes those things happen in games and you just can't get past a certain player, and the opposition has, whether they're not as good, no matter where you are on the table, you have those certain players that just sort of save the game for them.
Reminds that Huddersfield keeper who drew 1-1 a couple of seasons back.
So unfortunately it weren't our day, and a lot of fans were. I could always feel it when I'm in the pub after and I'm waiting to see the fan cams, whatever else. The atmosphere is always very different when we lose, obviously. But you can tell fans we're just more fuming because they know we can do better. I think that's the main thing there. You know, when you're a club that's a mid-table team, you expect to have the losses, but I think with Chelsea we have such high expectations every week that even though Frank Lampard has come in with the transfer ban, we still expect him to win every game.
Exactly,
sense,
but
it's
also because it's West Ham. I still saying I was getting a lot of shit this week, and I stand by. That was a poor West Ham side, regardless of whether you beat us or not. It's still a poor West Ham side, and I kind of wish we got a better result.
They were more up for it, I think. Whether that's down to fatigue or just too many games all in, you know, whatever, or injuries, they still were more up for it than we were.
See the full-time celebrations. We're your cup final, and we know it.
What Lewis said. Anyway, guys, comment below. Let us know what you thought of the West Ham game. Let us know what you think of Reece James as well, because he's, you know, only just recently come into the team and he's already performing amazingly. So
English Maldini,
you reckon?
English Maldini, English Cafu, Roberto Carlos. I don't care if he's a left back. He's still the next English version.
We'll see, won't we? We'll still see in a year or two how he's doing. Anyway, guys, comment below and let us know your thoughts on the game. We do have to look ahead to Villa now. Lauren's going to do a preview for that tomorrow, and we will be back with you later on in the week. Everton on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff. Also,
I can't wait for the trip.
Fingers crossed. You know, we're going to Aston Villa into that game. JT, you know, things like that. So that's going to be a bit of a funny one. But I hope we can win. You know, I really hope we need the 3 points in that game. And if anything, we need to pick up the points at home. Like every team knows that. If you're not doing so well away from home, if you're dropping points in games where you really shouldn't be, these are the games that we really need to impress in and make sure that we don't suffer another defeat.
To be honest, I think we need to be stronger, and I think we need to be stronger at home this season anyway. Because if we're being honest, I think our away record's been better than our home record this season. Home, we've been surprisingly sloppy.
Yeah.
I mean,
we even won against Lille. I've been going on Euroways for years, and they've always been quite disappointing in terms of the game. The trips have been brilliant, but the record of our, you know, how many points we've picked up there has not been that great. I mean, I can only remember Lille, Schalke away a few years ago. We did brilliantly in that game. Obviously, the finals.
Atletico,
Atletico, yeah. But other than that, I mean, I've been Olympiacos, Genk. They were both draws. Barcelona 3-0. Like, you know, we haven't really had the best run of form. Anyway, comment below, guys. Let us know what you thought of the game, and we will see you all on Wednesday for fan cams. Are you going to the game, Lewis?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Lewis will be there. I'll be at work, sadly, but I'll be watching profusely on my phone, and then I will see you all on Saturday.